Should Batman be banned from TV following the COVID pandemic? And are students at the DOE about to solve the energy crisis? This and more tonight on Simone. More about Batman later, but first let's talk about some exciting developments in the energy transition. They have created a project on energy storage and transport, and now they are coaching their students to become engineers of the future. Welcome Elisa Bergkamp and Clemens Verhoosel. Let me start with you, Elisa. How exciting is it to see all your students at work?
I can tell you, Simone, it's amazing. We are seeing all these interesting ideas coming in. It's really exciting.
That must be so rewarding. Clemens, what's your favorite idea so far?
There are so many. It's hard to pick one. Some of the flywheel applications are pretty fascinating, but what I like most is that so many options are being explored.
I understood that your students are now starting the second stage of the project. What is that about?
The second stage is all about making a model for the selected energy storage and transport solution. The groups should execute a systematic modeling cycle so that they can develop a model without hitting major roadblocks.
So that model, is that a computer simulation?
Not really. With the model we refer to the total set of mathematical relations and physical laws that describes the behavior of the system that they are interested in. A computer code can help to solve such a mathematical physical description, but in the end, that's just a tool.
Elisa, can you explain how students decide what to include in their model and what not?
We tell them that they should identify all relevant system components and physical phenomena. It probably sounds a bit vague. Let me give you an example. Think of a pumped hydro dam. This can be used to store energy generated by a wind farm before delivering it to the electrical grid. Since energy is stored in the form of potential energy in such a system, that's a model component that plays a crucial role. And in the development of their model, they should be aware of the characteristics of the wind farm and the way the electricity grid is operated. Of course, also the operation of the pumps and turbines needs to be included, as these play a central role in the efficiency of the system.
Sounds like that model should pretty much include everything.
The students are making an initial assessment of their idea, so more detailed aspects can be excluded. Think for example about losses in the tubing of the dam or the influence of rainfall. Those are interesting, but probably a little bit too detailed for the goal of this project.
And of course, students should also adjust the detail in which they model these components to the goals they have in mind. For example, for the pumps they could use some very basic empirical relations instead of running a big computer simulation. We want them to explore 2 or 3 options to model the system components, and then they should reason why a particular model suits their needs.
But isn't it very hard to reason why one is better than the other?
They're engineers. That's what they're trained to do. For the turbine, they can for example look at things like the Reynolds number to understand whether a particular model is accurate enough. Like that, they can use simple calculations to support their choice for a particular model option.
Larry, you wanted to say something?
I really love green energy. I think it's the best. But what I don't understand is why all these genius engineers of the future are overlooking the obvious solution.
And what's that?
Like in Star Wars, there's so much energy in the Force. They can just harvest that.
Star Wars is a movie, Larry.
No, it's a religion.
That's a fascinating discussion, but I want to get back to their project. Clemens, are there any specific requirements to the model that must be developed?
That's an excellent question. In fact, we would like one of the model components, preferably a crucial time-dependent component, to be described by a differential equation. For the hydrodam example, this could be the model that describes how much water there is in the reservoir. Since the flow rates and the power of the pumps and turbines will likely depend on the water level, one expects such a model to be in the form of a differential equation.
The time-dependent crucial component is indeed important to us. Another thing we want is that the students validate their model. In general, we want them to elaborate on the validity of their model based on theoretical arguments, for example coming from literature studies. But for one of the components, preferably a relevant time-dependent component, the students should develop an experimental validation plan.
That all sounds intense. Do they have to do this all by themselves?
We encourage them to come to the self-guided group meetings and to consult us for advice.
And when is this stage 2 due exactly?
They have to submit a poster by the end of the 3rd week, so there's no time to waste for them.
And all the details they can find on your course page?
Indeed, Simone, as always. And they should not forget to check out the scoring rubric.
Thank you very much, Elisa and Clemens. We'll keep on following you and your students in the coming weeks. I hope you'll stay around till after the commercial break to discuss whether Batman is still appropriate.
We wouldn't want to miss that.
Awesome. Stay tuned, folks. See you back after the break.